Good evening. Welcome to South Asia Newsline. I'm Karim Zimik. Here are top stories we're tracking for you on Monday, the 29th of March. India's COVID-19 tally tops 12 million with more than 68,000 fresh cases. Inflation spikes in Pakistan ahead of holy month of Ramadan. And people across India celebrate Festival of Colours amid coronavirus concerns. And now for all the details. India on Monday reported its worst single-day increase in COVID-19 cases since October, taking the tally to more than 12 million for the first time ever. Amid the surge in infections, authorities on Monday banned public celebrations of Holi, the festival of colours, in several places across the country.
India on Monday reported 68,020 new coronavirus infections, its worst single-day increase in COVID-19 cases since October, taking the tally to more than 12 million for the first time ever. The virus also claimed lives of 291 people in the past 24 hours, taking the death toll to 161,843 so far. Amid the surge in infections, authorities on Monday banned public gatherings to celebrate Holi, the festival of colours, in several cities across India, including capital New Delhi, Bhopal and Bhubaneswar cities. The government and experts had earlier blamed that increased public gatherings and travel are causing a spurt at a time when a majority of Indians are yet to be vaccinated.
जो भी फेस्टिवल्स अभी हाल में है, कल रात को शब बारात हुआ था, आज होली की त्यौहार है, तो ये सार्वजनिक स्थान पर न करके अपने अपने घरों में करें, छोटे छोटे गैदरिंग में, जिससे ये कोरोना का फैलाव ना हो। मुझे ये बहुत खुशी हो रही है कि ये गाइडलाइंस बहुत हद तक इसको माना गया है। अभी तक कहीं से कोई वायलेशन का हमें खबर नहीं आई है।
Meanwhile, India's worst affected Maharashtra state, which has imposed night curfew and tightened travel restrictions, is considering imposing a strict lockdown this week to put a lid on rising infections. Residential areas in Maharashtra's Mumbai city with 5 or more COVID-19 cases have also been ordered to be sealed off.
News just in, one police personnel and a municipal councillor were killed after terrorists opened fire during an urban local body meeting in Sopore town of India's Jammu and Kashmir on Monday. Police confirmed councillor Reyaz Ahmad and a policeman who was part of the security detail outside a meeting venue were killed in the attack. The area was immediately cordoned off and search operations were underway till the last reports came in. Moving on to news from Pakistan, as the holy month of Ramadan is starting from second week of April, prices of various food items have already started going up in Pakistan. Residents in the country's largest city of Karachi also continue to suffer from widening inflation that has now made daily commodities a luxury for them. Locals expressed anger over the rising prices of food items, blaming the government of not paying attention towards their plight.
Residents in Pakistan's Karachi city continue to suffer from rising inflation in the country, blaming the government for not paying much attention to their plight. Locals said the rising prices of food items have made the survival of poor so difficult that even the daily commodities are like a luxury to them. The sensitive price index, or SPI, earlier this month witnessed a jump with the prices of chicken and other food items, which played a major role in pushing up overall SPI, local media reports suggested.
500 रुपए किलो मुर्गी बिक रही है। अब क्या चीज़ पे आप लेंगे? परचून का सामान ले लें, 300 रुपए किलो तेल बिक रही है, चावल 200 रुपए किलो बिक रही है, आटा 80 रुपए किलो बिक रही है। यहाँ पे कोई नहीं पूछेगा। यहाँ पे कोई पूछ रहा है तो बताओ, गरीब को बेचारा मारा गया, जिसकी 1000 रुपए या 2000 रुपए दिहाड़ी हो, बेचारा क्या करेगा?
मैं तो ये कहूँगी कि गरीब आदमी खाए क्या? दाल रोटी खाते थे वो भी महंगी हो गई, अभी कहते हैं चलो गोश्त महंगा है तो मुर्गी खा ले, अब वो मुर्गी भी महंगी कर दी, तो खाए क्या ये बताओ? दूध महंगा, सब्जियां महंगी.
This comes as Muslim holy month of Ramadan is starting from second week of April. During Ramadan, people in Muslim majority Pakistan fast every day from dawn to sunset and break their fast with a special meal.
Moving on, Baloch activists carried out anti-Pakistan protests across the world this past weekend against the illegal occupation of Balochistan and to highlight human rights violations in the region.
Supporters of the Baloch national movement carried out anti-Pakistan protests across the world, including in Germany, the Netherlands and South Korea this past weekend, against the illegal occupation of Balochistan. A huge number of Baloch men, women and children joined the pro-freedom protests in Hanover in Germany to mark March 27 as Black Day, when the Pakistan Army in 1948 forcibly occupied Balochistan. They also highlighted and blamed the Pakistan Army, which operates with impunity in the region, has been committing genocide of innocent Baloch people.
Because this day in 1948, Pakistan have occupied Balochistan with power and force. And today, after almost a century, still the people are struggling and fighting back for the freedom of Balochistan. Unfortunately, this is not only an occupation, but it also have resulted now as a genocide of Baloch nation, and we appeal to the human rights defenders and other nations to protect Balochistan, save Balochistan.
And we want to tell the world and the Pakistani security forces and the state of the Pakistan that Baloch nation will keep fighting and keep their struggle for the free and sovereign Balochistan. And unless we continue this struggle, then we are not going to achieve our goal of freedom.
Similarly, a huge number of pro-freedom political activists also joined the protests in the Netherlands and South Korea and highlighted that Baloch people have been targets of military operations, ethnic stereotyping and abductions by the Pakistani state and its security forces for the past several years. They demanded the immediate withdrawal of the occupying forces from the region.
The U.S. Special Envoy Zalmay Khalilzad has departed for Turkey and the region in a push to encourage Afghan parties to accelerate negotiations to end the conflict in the country, the U.S. State Department has informed. The Turkey conference is expected to be held in early April, but the Afghan government and the Taliban have not stated who will represent them at the summit, which is aimed at discussing Afghan peace.
The U.S. Special Envoy for Afghanistan, Zalmay Khalilzad, has departed for Turkey and the region, the U.S. State Department informed over the past weekend, in a push to increase Afghan parties to accelerate negotiations to end the conflict in the country. This comes as the U.S. President Joe Biden is deciding whether to meet a May 1 deadline for the withdrawal of the last 3,500 American troops in Afghanistan that was set in a February 2020 accord struck with the Taliban under former U.S. President Donald Trump. Biden's administration has sought to build international pressure on the Taliban and U.S.-backed Afghan President Ashraf Ghani's government to reach a peace agreement and a ceasefire before the deadline. The Taliban, on the other hand, has warned it would resume hostilities against foreign forces, which ended under the U.S.-Taliban deal if they remain beyond the deadline. The Turkey conference is expected to be held in early April. So far, the Afghan government and the Taliban have not stated who will represent them at the summit. But head of the High Council for National Reconciliation, Abdullah, while expressing hope, has said the upcoming conference is a unique opportunity for peace and it will help form an agreement on ceasefire in the country.
In news from Nepal, the Nepal Army on Sunday evening received 100,000 doses of coronavirus vaccine sent by the Indian Army as a mark of friendship and strong ties between India and Nepal. 9 packages of the Covishield vaccine were handed over by the Indian Army officials to their counterparts at the international airport in Kathmandu.
The Nepal Army received 100,000 doses of the coronavirus vaccine from the Indian Army in capital Kathmandu on Sunday evening, which have been sent as a mark of friendship and strong ties between both the countries. 9 packages of Covishield vaccine manufactured by the Serum Institute of India, which were brought on an Air India aircraft, were handed over by the Indian Army officials to their counterparts from the Nepal Army at the Tribhuvan International Airport. Wedged between India and China, Nepal has already received more than 2.3 million doses of the AstraZeneca vaccine from India. Nepal has so far reported 276,839 infections and 3,027 deaths so far. The Himalayan nation earlier this year received 1 million doses of Covishield vaccine from India under grant assistance. In the last 2 months, Nepal has also procured 2 million doses of Made in India vaccine, out of which 1 million is yet to be delivered. Till date, about 1.6 million of its citizens have been vaccinated, and over 70% of the population is expected to be vaccinated by end of the year.
The Indian Institute of Science incubated startup installed southern Bengaluru's first ever smoke tower to reduce the level of pollutants in the city. An official informed nearly a week after the installation of the tower of the pilot project, scientists have observed almost 90% reduction in the ambient pollutants.
Indian Institute of Science incubated startup installed southern Bengaluru's first ever smog tower to reduce the level of pollutants in the city. Nearly a week after the installation of the tower of the pilot project in a fight against pollution, scientists have observed almost 90% reduction in the ambient pollutants, said startup Newton Labs Chief Executive Officer Newton. The Bengaluru City Municipal Corporation and Karnataka State Pollution Control Board set up a mobile facility at the spot to study the real-time effects and check the efficiency of the tower.
It works on the nanotechnology basically. We made use of certain noble nanoparticles and we have coated on the membranes and we have dispersed in the liquid medium. And from past 1 week, even the Karnataka State Pollution Control Board is monitoring, has fixed the real-time analyzers and is also conducting the validation studies on the instrument that we have made. And it is working very fantastically, and we have observed almost 90% reduction in the ambient air pollutants.
Environmental group Greenpeace recently released a report that showed that Bengaluru, which has fared better than other Indian metro cities in pollution index, recorded about 12,000 deaths due to the pollution in the year 2020, despite the coronavirus lockdown that improved air quality significantly.
People across India celebrated the festival of colours, Holi, on Monday with smearing each other in colour and dancing and singing religious songs. Celebrated at the onset of spring, Holi holds a mythological importance, that of the triumph of good over evil. It is also associated with the eternal love of Hindu Lord Krishna and Radha.
Hundreds of devotees thronged the Banki Bihari temple in India's northern Vrindavan town, the land associated with Hindu god Krishna, and played Holi, the festival of colours, on Monday. The temple was packed with devotees smeared in holy colours, struggling to get a glimpse of idol of Lord Krishna. In northern Lucknow and Amritsar cities, people took to streets and danced to the beats of drums on the occasion. The Festival of Colours brings together people from all classes and age groups as they play with colours and distribute sweets.
सब लोग सोशल डिस्टेंसिंग मेंटेन कर रहे हैं, कोशिश कर रहे हैं परिवार के रीति रिवाजों को निभाने की और होली मनाने की, लेकिन सबको सुरक्षित रखते हुए।
बहुत ही हर्षोल्लास के साथ मना रहे हैं, सोशल डिस्टेंसिंग का पालन भी कर रहे हैं, सभी लोगों ने मास्क भी लगाया हुआ है और हम लोगों का बहुत ज़्यादा यहाँ पे प्रवासी समाज उत्तर प्रदेश बिहार से ज़्यादातर उत्तराखंड लोगों के यहाँ पर बहुत हुजूम रहता है, लेकिन हम लोगों ने बहुत लिमिट के हिसाब से लोगों को बुलाया है और अपना खुशी जाहिर कर रहे हैं।
The festival of Holi is also marked with people taking out processions and holding special prayers. Celebrated at the onset of spring, Holi holds a mythological importance that is of the triumph of good over evil. It is also associated with the eternal love of Hindu Lord Krishna and his consort Radha.
Well, that's all we have for you from South Asia this evening. Now, our viewers can watch the show on SouthAsiaNewsline.com. You can also visit us on Facebook.com/SAsiaNewsline and follow us on Twitter at SAsiaNewsline. That's all in tonight's edition. We'll see you next time tomorrow. Good night.